This conference will now be recorded.
Can you please confirm someone?
Yeah, yeah, yes, yes.
Yeah, thank you. So
Hello.
today, yeah, yes, yes,
Yeah, okay.
I can hear you. So today we'll be learning about JFrog. Okay, what is JFrog and why we have to use this tool? We need to understand. See, whenever you build, whenever you build an application, Java application or .NET application, the byproduct will be if you build a Java application, and if the Java application is a web application, then a binary file will be created with extension .var file. If it is a desktop application, then it will be created with the extension of jar file. If it is a Java application, right? So, and you know the importance of these binary files. We have used Maven tool to build the Java code and to convert it to the Java code to binary format. So, one important thing we should understand, when you run in on the Jenkins tool, whenever we run a job, same job, if you are running multiple times, then multiple times, if it is a web application, a var file will be generated multiple times by the Maven tool. But this, if you run that job for 10 times, 10 times the file will be generated, and at the same location, at the same location, and every time the previous var file will be replaced with the latest var file. So for example, assume developers are developing their code on their local machine, whenever they're developing, then assume it is they developed they did some code changes and they uh, deployed, they build it, then a jar file is created. And for example, after 3 4 hours later, he changed his logic, and again he built the application on his local machine. Then again a new binary file will be generated, var or jar file, both any one of them will be generated. So suddenly assume that person uh, application is not working as expected, but the morning one was working fine. But now the one which he built now is not working fine. Then he cannot go back to the previous version. Why? Because the previous var file has been replaced with the latest build. So in short, what I'm trying to say is that these var files, now if the developer wanted to store these multiple var files, whenever he build the job, whenever a var file is generated, then if you want to store, if you want to if you want to store each version, each binary version, then you should use a repository tool. He has to use a repository tool, right? Like our github. And you know, github is a tool which can store only the Java code or .NET code or any language code it can store, or it can store even documents, etc., right? GitHub cannot store your binary files. It will not allow you to store binary files. So that is the reason we won't use GitHub, but we need another repository tool. You know the importance of repository tools, right? There, what these tools do, they will maintain the version control. They maintain who developed at what time, right? Every file they maintain the version control, they do the version control, and they store the files. Similarly, we need a repository tool which can store every version of the var file that is generated. That could be Java code, that could be .NET Core, or it could be any other language, no problem. Immaterial with the what language we are using. End of the day, the binary files are to be stored. So these binary files are called as artifacts. These are called artifacts. So, so whenever I say artifact, don't confuse. Artifacts nothing but the binary files which are generated by converting a Java code or a .NET code or some other XYZ code. No worries. But end of the day, whatever the binary file generated, we call it as a artifact. Artifact, right? So this artifact we have to store. This artifact we have to store. We have to store in a repository. I told you the requirement. So only one requirement I have told you, but there are other requirements as well that also I'll explain in a moment. So this artifact we have to store in a repository. So for storing artifacts in a repository, we have, as of now, there are many tools. The famous tools are, we have below two tools. Those are, one is Nexus and another is JFrog. So any in industries may be using Nexus or JFrog. So nowadays most of the companies are using JFrog, but Nexus also they are using. So in short, what I'm trying to say is that we have like GitHub, we have another repository tool like Nexus and JFrog. These tools will store binary files. They store the artifacts. They store the artifacts, right? So now, as I told you, in real time, when the developer multiple times, suppose he's working on a task, and uh, today evening he has to deploy into the production server, and in the morning he fixed the issue, and in the evening he got another requirement. Due to that, he added some logic, and somehow his application is not working in the evening version. Then time is over, and that application has to be deployed end of the that, around 6 o'clock. By 6 o'clock it has to be moved into the uh, production server. So for that reason, he cannot wait to fix that issue. He can if he has a binary file which is generated in the morning, if he has that binary file version, then he would have deployed that version. But since he is not maintaining any, he is not using any artifact tools, then he cannot do it. But if he used these tools, then he no need to worry about the var files or binary files which he has generated. Maybe he has generated in the day 10 times, 20 times, no problem. Every version whatever he has generated, it will not be overwritten on the same binary file, but instead that files will be automatically moved to JFrog repository, JFrog artifact repository. So JFrog automatically stores that var file in its repository. It will automatically stores it in its repository. Hello, somebody speaking. So for that reason, that is one of the reason. So every day whatever they working, the developers whatever they working every day. So those versions, those var files, whatever they generate, what we call them as snapshots. Snapshots. That is daily built binary files. We call them as snapshots. So he has assumed that developer built that application for 10 times. 10 var files are generated, and each var file we name it, we tell it as a snapshot. So 10 times he executed, then 10 snapshots will be created. Those 10 snapshots will be automatically stored in the JFrog repository, artifact repository. But for that we have to configure it. For that we have to configure it. How to configure those things we'll see in a moment, but try to understand what is JFrog or Nexus tool, what are the purpose of using them. And assume once they have developed the snapshots, sorry, when they tested, the var files are stored in the form of snapshots. Now finally the final binary file which they want to release into the production server, which they want to release into the production server, then we call them as release version. Release version. So so accordingly, the user, the developer has to modify the final version. He has to modify. So in his pom file, in his pom.xml file, he has to modify, so that what modification he has to do, so that our JFrog will detect it that okay, it is not a snapshot, it is a release version, it's a final version. Okay, it's a final version. Okay, this is a final version. So our developers will do that change, or they will inform us to do that change. So what change we have to do, so that we can make a snapshot to a release version, how to change a snapshot to a release candidate, right? So that our JFrog will store this release version in a separate folder in its artifact repository. So JFrog maintains multiple folders actually. So one will be for snapshots, one will be for release. Like that, it will maintain multiple uh, folders actually. So release one is the final one which will be deployed into the production server, right? That is a small introduction. And before I go any further, so whatever we discussed till now, it comes under, actually there are three types of repositories in JFrog. Actually there are three types of repositories in JFrog. Even it applies to Nexus as well. If you know JFrog, you can work on Nexus as well without an issue. So here we have three types of repositories in JFrog. One is local, the one which we discussed till now, and another is remote, and the last one is virtual. So local we already understood a bit, and what is remote then? So actually remote is when suppose your application, Java application, is depending on, for example, let me open that in your your POM file. For example, in the pom.xml, the developers will mention all the dependencies like this. This is a dependency, this is a dependency. So the dependency, they're saying that what is the dependency name and what is the version they want, the 2.0 version they want. Like that, they will mention the version numbers as well. So basing on that, accordingly, the maven tool will automatically pull that dependencies from the internet. From the internet, the maven will maintain its own repository, mavenrepository.com website. From there, it will have all the repositories in the, it call it as, we call it as a central repository. It's a central repository. From there, whenever your application, you run the application, it will check the POM file, and it will pull the dependencies from the internet. If that dependency is not already downloaded, if it is already downloaded, then it will be stored inside our local folder. It will stored in our local folder. We know that where it is stored in the local folder, that is .m2 folder. If you remember, .m2 folder, inside we have repository folder. On the day I have shown you. So in that, we will have the all the dependency files. First time it will be downloaded over there, but next time when you build the same application, as I told you, it will not go to the internet. It will first check whether it is available in the local version or not. If it is available in the local version, then it will not go to the internet. It will fetch it, use it from the local folder itself, right? Then what is remote then? So here, remote remote repository, in short we call remote, but it's a remote repository. So what remote repository will do is that, actually first time, when the company, every company will have their own private remote repository. Every company will have their own private remote repository. So for example, there are 10 or 15 products going on in that company. So what they will do, the developers, they will use common libraries. The developers will use common libraries written by different teams. Maybe they've written for maybe 2 3 old libraries they may be using, written by some of the developers. So those libraries has to be used among multiple projects. They have to be used among multiple projects. So for that reason, the library should be kept in such a location that every team can able to access them easily without any manual intervention. So such libraries should be kept in a proper location. That location we call as a remote repository. So remote repository is a place where we will keep we will keep common libraries, as well as we will also keep the dependencies which we have previously downloaded from internet or downloaded from central repository. Nothing but your maven centralrepository.com website. Or if Microsoft is there, they have their own NuGet websites. From there you will download NuGets are nothing but, again, those are softwares packages from central repositories. So we have local, we have remote. So initially, suppose this local person, again, this guy, when he tries to, for example, it's a new developer is now building. Previously another developer, he built his application, then the dependency files are stored in his repository folder. And now at the same time, what will happen is, whatever this person has downloaded, those repositories whatever downloaded, those also will be kept in our remote repository. So next time onwards, whoever, another developer, whenever he tries to build their application, then the request first goes to remote repository. Remote repository maintains all the, so what you call, the dependencies whatever downloaded before, those are maintained in a cache. In a cache they maintain it in the remote repository. So whenever the new developer now this time trying to build his application, it will not go to the internet. First it will check in the company's private remote repository. In the company's private remote repository, if those dependencies are available in the cache, then that will be automatically given to them, and without what you call, without connecting to the internet, they can download them from their company's local remote repository, and they can use them, and they can able to compile it. And this one example, and the same project, if it depending, if it needs some common libraries, those also maintained in the remote repository. So everybody belongs to different projects can use them, they can use them. So that is the advantage of remote repository. So uh, normal central repository, it is a public, that means anybody can download from the central repository. and and remote repository is not public, it is private, and it is only for the particular company. So for that reason, companies, what they will do, they will buy the licenses of JFrog kind of tools. And in the JFrog, they have to buy, and then they can maintain their own private remote repositories. So JFrog allows them to create their own private remote repository. For that, they have to buy the licenses from JFrog. For our for today, we can also do that. We can also, without buying the JFrog tool, we can use it. We have open source available for JFrog. We can use it. We can download it, and we can verify. But it is not a full version. But most of the uh, capabilities which having a license version have, those we can view here. So in short, that is about remote repository and virtual repository. So virtual repository, see, for local remote we have different URLs. Actually, links will be given, added into the POM file normally. So virtual is another, is a different one. So virtual one is what it is, a it's a combination of local and remote repository. So that means the developers no need to worry whether they have to access the what you call, the private repository, or the, so I mean the private remote repository or the local repository where the dependency exists. They don't, which link they have to use. So then no need to worry, they instead they can use a virtual repository. So actually the virtual repository, a link will be given to the developers. Actually underneath the virtual repository will be referring, suppose the application, they are using the virtual repository link, and the application now started building, and the application required some dependencies, then the virtual repository automatically fetch the required dependencies, whether it is available in the local repository or in the remote repository. Wherever it may be available, the virtual repository will take care. So underneath, it will take care, and the end user, developer, no need to worry which link he has to use. He can use the virtual link itself. So it's a combination of the other repositories. So the advantage is what? What is the advantage of this one is, no need to give individual URLs. No need no need to give individual URLs of hosted and proxy. So this remote repository, we call them as a proxy URL also. Rather, give just one URL in the POM file or configuration file. So if you are using your .NET, there will be different way of giving it. If it's a POM file, then you will keep it inside a tag. And if you use remote repository, what is the advantage we get? It save it saves time and network bandwidth for each similar request, right? And local, as it stores the var files in the local directory. So what is the advantage we get from here? Fully tested and version build will be available at all time. So there are three different local, remote, and virtual versions are different types of versions we have. So now to view them in the JFrog repository, we have to install it. To view it, we have to install it. To view it, we have to install it. So installing JFrog are two ways. One is we have what you call trial version, and another is open source version. Both are there available. So these are the instructions to install our JFrog. For installing the JFrog, we require T2 medium. We require T2 medium. Normal T2 micro will not work, right? So let us see, let us install JFrog, and let us understand where we can see the local, remote remote repository and virtual repositories, and how can we deploy our var files into our JFrog repository. We will try that in a moment. So let us first install okay. So this is our website, JFrog website, and we have, when you click on JFrog download, then we will get this option start free, right? So that is for some 30 days, for 30 days period they will give a free. And then we have another option, JFrog Artifactory open source for artifact lifecycle management. So whenever you want to download, you have to search JFrog OSS download. When you type OSS download, then you will get download Artifactory OSS. If you simply download, then you will get another link. So we require OSS, right? But in the OSS also we have Windows installer, Linux installer, and this is a tar file. If you want for Ubuntu, you can go for Debian. For Docker also we have the files. So we will see, we will learn how to do these things on Docker. When we start Docker, at that time we will see those things. And we have Helm also here. So today, first I will create our server. In short, our GitHub stores the source code and JFrog stores the artifacts. That is the only difference you should understand. Is it recording? So here, let me name it as JFrog server. And this JFrog runs on port number 8081, and our Jenkins runs on 8080. So for this JFrog, let's take Amazon Linux, and we have Ubuntu as well, right? Okay, one moment. We are using Debian version, right? Okay, let's go with Ubuntu. So Ubuntu will be better actually. Yeah, let's take Ubuntu, because the link what we download here. So here, how to download? See, right click on it, and if you use, we have two options: copy link address. If you say normally, which we do, so open a new window, you will get something like this one. So better you try with copy clean link, then you will get something like this, okay. This is the one link. This is, you have to untar and do it. And if you are using Debian for Ubuntu, you can click on copy command. When you click on the copy command, we are using this option actually. This is the commands we are going to run. Actually, before running these commands, so these are all pointing out to our Debian family. So Debian family, Ubuntu belongs to Debian family. So if you see apt, by seeing this you can understand it belongs to Debian family. So that is Ubuntu machine we will use, and we will run this commands on Ubuntu machine. But this, if you run this, you will get some issues. So to fix these issues, I have just modified it a little bit. So both are same actually, but minor changes there. But anyway, uh, for time being, ignore that. Let's launch our Ubuntu server. And instance type, I'm taking T2 medium. It's a T2 medium, and key pair 3. Okay, fine. That's all for now. If anything required, okay, I will also, maybe I will change the security name, not mandatory but better. So JFrog SG security group. And moreover, this is a SSH protocol we added. Do you want to add any more? Yes, we require to add a port number 8081 and 8082 also required. Why they are required, I will tell you in a moment. But as of now, we will do it later. We can do it now also, but as of now, nothing. Be like this. Now click on launch instance. So here by default GP2 it is showing. So change it to GP3. It will be a little bit faster. So GP3, and memory 8 GB is fine. If you want increase, you can increase to 16 GB as well, no problem. But as of now, GP3 I have taken. It's not mandatory. By default settings also fine, it's also fine. But if you take GP3 also, no problem. If forget also, no problem. Click on launch instance. But before that, remember you have to take T2 medium. Otherwise, you cannot able to install successfully. Where is the version it is showing? T2 medium. Okay, launch it. So it's running now. Select it. As you know, it's a latest one, so we have to update it. Before that, let me change this to some meaningful name. Host name. You must root user. Okay, I'm not a root user. Hyphen I. Right. So here I have to run these commands to install our. Okay, before that I have to update my existing Ubuntu server. I'm updating it. It is done. Then let us go to our commands. So these commands which we downloaded, don't use them. So I will share these commands to you. Use them while practicing. So in the JFrog, copy this complete. The same thing. Debian releases JFrog Artifactory. Dep same thing which you downloaded here. It is same thing only, but a little bit different. Now paste over here and execute it. So it is done. Then we have to run the most important thing, that is the importing of repository GPG key by running the following command. So when we run this command, actually when you going to install JFrog, it will pull some data from public repositories. At the time, the Ubuntu will restrict you to not to download it. So to allow it, we have to install the GPG keys, is a security related keys. This we have to uh, install run first, so that uh, it will not restrict us from installing the software. That is our, what do you call, our JFrog. So now next what you have to install is, finally we have to install our JFrog. So the same thing which we see here, right? App to get install JFactory OSS, the same thing which we downloaded from the internet, right? So the same thing I can use it, right? Here -y we will keep. App to get is not required. So apt install JFrog Artifactory -oss. Okay, this is the command we have to use. So, but before running this, we have to use one more command, that is apt update -y. So, whatever we requested here to now these things, whatever we did here, these commands will update it when you run this command. After that, you have to install our JFrog. So now I will say apt update -y. So some related to JFrog Artifactory something are downloaded now. So if you don't run this command, then these updates will not done properly. Then install our JFrog. It will take some time. Is around roughly 1 GB. It will take around 2-3 minutes time. Meanwhile, let me install another server for Jenkins. Server 2.2. For Jenkins, I will take T2 small. Remember, these are chargeable. Whenever you're practicing, you start only when you are not moving out from your laptop for at least for 2 hours. So you have to sit for 2 hours. Minimum time is there 2 hours. Only then you start building these servers. If you start them and if you go out due to some other work, then no, you will have to pay some money, because we are going to use small and T2 small and T2 medium. So please start only when you are completely free, leisure. And this also security group, I want to give some meaningful name. So okay, right, this will be launched. And what is status of our system? Okay, it is around 750 MB. It has installed. It's going on. So this is a link, you can try, but don't use this, or else just for reference you can try here. Okay, you can go and you can check it. The same thing, same commands, but a little bit different, that's all. So it is up to date. It is deployed now. What is the home directory? Installation directory was set to opt slash jfrog. In that, Artifactory is there. So here it is, right? So if you go there, you can if you go to this path, you can see all the binary files, other conf files, everything you can see over there, right? Then what it is saying, installation of Artifactory has completed successfully, and this is a version. This is the latest version. Okay, this is the latest version, and then it is saying that start Artifactory with this command, and this is a command to check whether it has started or not. These things, two things we have to do, and one important thing, to access it on the browser, we have to add a port number 8081. Go to our instances. It is done. Okay, no problem. We'll come back to Jenkins in a moment. Ping.google.com. JFrog, right? Go to security tab. Security. We need to add two IP addresses. Edit inbound rule. Add rule. 8081 anywhere, and another is 8082 to access the dashboard of the JFrog, and 8081 is for the communicating with the application installed in our server. So both we require. This is our UI, and this is for communicating with our application inside our server. So both has to be required. Both are required. Then 8081, 8082, and save rules. Now our JFrog is ready. Now I want to access it. But before I access it, what I have to do? I have to here in this, you have to paste here the public IP and 8081 port number. But I have not yet started, right? Let me start it. What is the command to start it? System ctl start artifactory.service. Select it and paste it. So before it starts, yeah, it is started now, right? It is started. So this command you have to use. These two commands you have to select them, you have to use them, right? These things you have to do now. Both are now started. Now another thing is that internally we have to create a symbolic link. It internally uses the links actually. So for that we have to create a symbolic link. So we have to enable this. One more step we have to do. And then now check whether it is running or not. Status. The status should be shown as active. So it's running active. Now our JFrog is running active. Next thing is what? Just access it, press enter over here. Now we started with port number 81, but it went to 8082, 8082, right? So these are JFrog portal now. Now the JFrog, like in SonarQube, we have admin, and admin is the password, username and password. Here JFrog default credentials are admin, and user password is password. These two things by default. So here I'm entering admin password login. So welcome to Artifactory open source edition. Get started. New password. Okay, let me give a new password. So next. So this you can skip it. This default proxy you can skip it. And these are the repositories. So which one you want to use? So we have many actually in this. So for us, for our application, I want to use Maven. Select Maven here. So when you select Maven, then Maven related repositories will be created. That is local, remote. That means the snapshot drives, release folder, snapshot folder will be created as we discussed accordingly in Maven, using Maven. Then click on next. So this is a problem with the UI here. So here you see lips snapshot local, Maven remote, lips snapshot, and few more are there. Here it is not able to show it properly, but we will see it in a moment. Click on finish now. Right now, this welcome to JFrog. That is, you can skip it out. Now this is a dashboard. This dashboard, here we have Artifactory. In the Artifactory, we have packages, builds, artifacts. So this is the artifacts I was discussing. Click on artifacts. So here you see we have the folder structure. First of all, important thing is lips release local, lips snapshot local. These two, if you understand, remaining you will understand easily. So I told you every day this developer will multiple times he will execute his application. If he don't use JFrog, then locally on his local machine, this var file will be multiple times it will be replaced. The same var file will be replaced multiple times whenever you build it. So instead of that, if he has used artifact, then that where every time whatever he build, that will be stored as a snapshot, where it will be stored inside this folder snapshot local. When you expand it, nothing is there because we have not yet configured. So I want to configure such a way that he build it whenever he builds it, that var file generated, that will should come inside this folder. So he may be doing it daily 10 times, no problem. Every time it should come over here. So every time whenever it comes over here, that every build will be named with the timestamp. So that by seeing the timestamp and other details, we can understand which build it was, which snapshot version it was. And finally, assume that person developer is ready to send deploy production, then he can move it to release local. He can move it to release local. And release local is a only, it contains only few versions, because snapshot may contain 10, 20, 30 snapshots, but release will contain only the final product. So after every sprint, suppose one release will be there, second sprint one more release will be there inside it. But in a sprint he may be, one sprint he may be executed the application multiple times in the snapshot. And here above lips release lips snapshot is there. Actually these are like no your whatever you downloaded from the internet, whatever you have downloaded from internet, those will be stored inside your lips release and snapshot. And similarly we have Maven remote and Maven cache. So it will store the default plugins that are required in the Maven remote. Right now these are all empty now. So now what I will do, I will connect our application palm application with our snapshot, and when I build it, the var file should come over here. But when I modify it to release version, then the release version should come over here. So these two things we'll observe now. Any questions till now, please? Let me know if you have any questions. Meanwhile, I'm installing our what do you call, here you press q symbol, you'll come out of it. It's I think it's session ended. Okay, the session ended for JFrog, no problem. Let's work with Jenkins. Clear the screen. Are we have we updated apt date? Okay, it is done. So next is we have to install Java, because I'm going to install what do you call, Jenkins over here. Let's go to and copy this command, install, press Y. So Jenkins will be Java installed now. Then scroll up and copy our Jenkins installation commands, copy them. What happened to this JFrog? JFrog is not required anymore. We will make it to sleep. And Jenkins, as you know, it required port number 8080. So we have to enable it. Go to details and copy the public IP. Here type 8080. Is it ready? Now what I'm trying to do is that I want to integrate my JFrog with my Jenkins. I want to integrate my JFrog with Jenkins. That is the process I'm going to do now. So for that we have to install what? Artifactory plugin. I will explain you in a moment. So okay, ping.google.com. Oh, as you remember yesterday, how we configured Sonar Cube? The similar way we have to configure our JFrog on our Jenkins. The similar way. So we have to install our what do you call, plugin. So first step, what we have to do? Create a prepare the Jenkins server, or that is not important. Install Artifactory plugin. The first step you have to do, right? And then next step is we have to add Maven plugin. We have to add Maven plugin, and then what next? We have to go to manage tools or manage Jenkins, I think. In that, go to where we have to go to configure system. We there only we have configured our Sonar Cube yesterday, if you remember. Go to system. There you will find option to add artifact details. Option to add an artifact details. So in that, there we have to add our JFrog link. Our JFrog, this is JFrog URL, right? It is 8080 8082, right? No, that is not we have to give. We have to give 8081. This is the URL we have to give. When you give this URL, and also we have to give who is using this JFrog, who is using this JFrog, is username and password. Username and password has to be given. So for that, we can use, what is this waiting for, ping.google.com, right? So you can use our is this ready? Okay, preparing. So here you can use our by default admin password. I password I've changed it. Those credentials you can use, or you can create your own user also. You can create our own user also. So here dashboard, where is that? Why it has came to directly here? Distribution integration. Right. So here we have user management. We have two buttons here. One is this one. Here you can see your artifacts, and on the right side we have another settings button. In the settings, if you go, then you can see your user management option here. You can change your user management. You can create your users here. So environments like your dev environment, production environment, those things you can set it up over here. So for now, go to our user management section and click on users. Here by default admin is there. I want to create one more new user. Say new user. Username can be anything. I will say somebody Ram, and email is ram@gmail.com. And this person I want to give admin permissions, and select administrator platform. So you can administer the platform now onwards. That option I'm giving, and come down. What is the password you want to give? Password something. Okay, some password I have given, so that's enough. Ram is a user name. Save. So now if you say Ram uh, is a user now, he has been created, right? So one user is created, that also we have to set it up. So go to admin, give admin as an username. So as we discussed, go to manage Jenkins, go to tools, right? Install Artifactory plugin. You know where to install the plugin, right? Go to click on plugins, available plugins, type Artifactory. So we have Artifactory 4.0.6 version. Select it and install it. Then next step is add Maven plugin. Okay, it is installed. Now click on manage Jenkins. These things by now you should be familiar. Go to tools now and come down, and go to Maven installation, add Maven. Here Maven version is 3.96 version by default. You can select it or you can change it. Your name I will give something like Maven 396, the version number 396. Some hyphen, I will give a hyphen as well. This is the name I want to give. Apply. Save it. And then next what? Next step is go to Jenkins system, manage Jenkins system. Okay, here system is option, system option is there. Now if you scroll down, you should see Artifactory. Right, JFrog is there, right? JFrog. Under JFrog, we have used the credential plugin, JFrog platform instance. There are many multiple ways of doing it, right? So JFrog pipeline server, various things are over here, credentials. So simply what you can do is actually this Jenkins, every time UI will be changing. So previously it was not like this. Previously it was somewhat different. Here we used to have Artifactory, something different. Now anyway it's showing JFrog, no problem. So JFrog platform instances. So today you are seeing this, tomorrow this change names will be changed. After a few months you may see a different one. So don't confuse. And underneath the everything is same, the functionality is same. List of JFrog platform instances that projects will want to deploy artifacts and build info. So here click on add JFrog platform instance, right? Go to JFrog section, click on this option. Next, when I click on, what happens? The instance id, you can give anything, but it should be unique one. You can give anything, it should be unique one. So here I will say JFrog Artifactory, some name I'm giving, it should be unique. Okay, JFrog Artifactory. And platform URL, where is the URL? I told you the URL, this is the one. You have to give you this one. And then it is asking default deployer credentials. Here we know Ram is a username and a password. I given them. After giving that, you can click on test connection. Test connection should display that it has found a artifactory, something, some like found artifactory, something message you should display if everything is fine, right? So these steps, I'm not noting. Okay, I will mention it, no problem. Instance ID, mention a unique instance ID, example JFrog Artifactory, and then what is the next option? JFrog platform URL. Then give this URL. So your IP address, your public IP, this will be changed. Here I'm giving mine, but you have to give your own. Don't give this exactly. Or I will mention over here. Public IP of JFrog instance, right? So this one you have to give, and then provide credentials added in JFrog. Okay, for under default deploy credentials, right? You have to give. Then click on test connection. It is testing. It is testing. And it is said that found JFrog Artifactory 7.77.9 version. It has found it. It has found it, and it is saying JFrog distribution not found. So distribution, if you want it, you will get it if you install it, and it is not a free one. It's not a free one. It's a licensed one. So distribution will not come, but it's okay. No harm. End of the day, all we want is the connectivity should be successful with our Artifactory. It is done now. Next, what? Just apply. Let's apply and save this setting, right? Till now, do you have any questions? Till now, do you have any questions, please? I need few more minutes, then we will end up the session. Okay, if no questions, then next what we do? Next, we have this Artifactory. This is a project I have. I want to upload. I want to build it, and I want to upload this WAR file. Right. For that, what I can do? So for that, click a new item. You select JFrog job one. Here you select instead of free project, you select Maven project. Build a Maven project. Jenkins takes advantage of your POM files and drastically reduces the configuration. For now, you select Maven project. Go to Maven project. Okay. So here, next is create a new job of type Maven project. Then click OK. Now come down, select your Git, and the repository. Copy this, and then branch, change it to main. Right. Now come down, and here build option, root form file. What are the goals here? So goals is that I want to create a var file and I want to deploy into my Artifactory. So here you can write simply clean and install, not package. Clean and install. It will install and prepare the var file, and that var file will be picked up to the and it will be installed into uploaded into the remote JFrog remote repository. And here we have in the build, that is the option we have, and then just come down. That is okay. Resolve artifacts from Artifactory. You select this one. One moment, please, on this one. That is okay, but okay. People steps. Maven we have built, right? Okay, one moment, please. Maven that we have not selected properly. It is fine. I should see here a option. One option I'm looking for. One moment, please. Okay, we do one thing. So what we did till now, we have selected the repository which project I want to build. I have selected it, and the main branch I have selected it. And then let me select the option called resolve artifacts from art resolve artifacts from artifactory. Select this one. So here it's showing artifactory server, the server whatever we added. So the same JFrog server. As of now, it does not have any artifactory. It does not have any artifacts as of now. All are empty. As of now, all are empty. If you see, all are empty. Both are empty now. Now here it's sometimes this refresh repositories may not work. Sometimes in that case, we have to give our own way. One moment, please. So it will, if we even refresh it, it takes some time. But one meanwhile, it is happening. So it takes long time. So what we are saying is that resolve artifacts from artifactory. That means what we are trying to say is that whenever you build our application, our var file, don't go to the internet. First check whether our lips release, this is a lips release and lips snapshot. In the lips release we will have some default libraries. So we are saying that don't fetch it from the internet. First go to our lips release first. Go to lips release and check whether the artifacts available or not. If they are not available, only then go to the internet and pull the required dependencies. Here sometimes if it is refreshing is not working for you, then what you can do is in the resolution release repository, resolution snapshot repository, in these sections what we have to do is that we have to copy the name, lips release folder name. We have to copy, this is the name we have to give, so that it will go to this, connect to this folder, and will check for the required dependencies. So if it is not able to refresh properly, then no problem, click on different value button. Click on different value button. This time here you can paste the folder name directly. Similarly you can click on different value over here, and here snapshot, resolution snapshots also you can, you have to give here lips snapshot. So this one you can copy, when you click it you can copy it. So these are like central folders. These are like a which if the local repository does not contain, then it's like a your private central remote repository which will have the latest libraries which it has downloaded previously from the internet. Whatever it downloaded previously first time, it will store here in this lips release. So that setup we have done now. Now where we have done, under the build environment, and the build environment we are doing it. Select this resolve artifacts from artifactory before you pulling it from the internet. That is what we are trying to say here. And then come down the pre-steps, add pre-steps. What steps we can add here? No, nothing. So ignore it. And here clean install, fine. Then post steps, uh, add post steps build. Okay, what we have? And finally what we have to do, that var file created generated for our application, that has to be uploaded to our JFrog. For that what we have to do is that select the postable actions. In these postable actions, click on deploy artifacts to artifactory. Deploy artifacts to artifactory, this option you have to select. Fine. When you have selected it, it will ask you, fine, I will upload the files. I will upload the var files, but where to upload, which folder I have to upload. So that also we have to configure. Normally when I refresh again, this should be updated. You see carefully, both are different. Here also we saw same thing, here also we are seeing the same thing. What is the difference? Difference is that this is before building our application, resolve artifacts from artifactory. So that means before our Java application is built, while building it will find the dependencies, in our pom file. So these are the dependencies. So all these dependencies, what we are saying in this setup is that do not download it from the internet. First of all, go to our lib release, If it does not found, so then you can if it is for snapshot repository, go for snapshot this library, this folder. If it is a release repository, go for libs release folder. So respectively we have to give the folder names. So this is before building the application. After building the application, then a var file will be generated. As we discussed in the beginning, a var file will be generated. So where you want to upload this? I want to upload into my JFrog artifact. So then where you want to move it? I told you, if he is building daily, it's not a it's not a final build, then that has to be moved to our snapshot local. It has to move to snapshot library this way, this place, right? So come down, and I'm showing it again. Close this. Now in the post add post build action, click on this, click on select deploy artifacts to artifactory, and then here target release repository, target snapshot repository. Normally generally if I refresh this button, this should come up, this should be populated with this release and snapshot names automatically. But sometimes this Jenkins also uh, not so perfect UI. So no problem. Instead of waiting it, what I can do it, click on, I copied snapshot first of all, right? Let me copy that first one. Select here in this text box, I'm pasting it now. You can't paste it here directly, you can't paste it. You have to click this button. This you see the UI is very poor. The button also not showing properly, but previously here it is showing properly. Select from list, select from different value, it is first showing. So the names also sometimes it's very poorly tested application by J- Jenkins team. Go to release local now. This time I will copy libs release. The release release is nothing but your final copy. If the developer want to move the final copy, then that will be moved to libs release local. If it is a only the is just running his code multiple times, then it will go to the snapshot under hyphen local. Please interrupt me if you have any questions here. Both are different. This is the this about pulling the dependencies before the application is built, and this is after building the application. I want to move our code to our JFrog. So the location I am specifying, and then what I will do, anything remains still? Nothing. So till now, what I did, okay, add your GitHub details that this you know already, and then go to section, select what, resolve artifact, some artifact, right? Resolve artifact. Here you have to type paste what, for this option you have to paste lib release and lib snapshot. So if they are depending on multiple projects are will be there, if they are depending on some libraries, they can get it from this folder. And then what we have to do, go to build section, 10th step, go to build section. Here goals are, goals by default POM will be mentioned over here, and your goals will be clean and install. And then go to next, where you have to go to your postable actions. Here select what, you have to select this option, deploy artifacts to artifactory, right? And then apply and save. So our project is saved now. Next thing is what? Next thing is we have to build it, right? Let's see. Build now. Console output. So initially it is downloading from central, from the internet is downloading. See, download artifacts from Maven, Apache Maven 2. It's not using our JFrog because it's the first time, right? It's the first time. You have to understand this difference. So when I build it, sir, the next time, for the next time, you should not go to the internet because my POM file, whatever my project having the POM file, that POM file having some dependencies, only that special dependencies are downloading now from the internet, and those will be saved in our lib release and lib snapshot accordingly. And next time they will not be downloaded from internet. And some are downloading from our artifact as well. You see, they are downloading from artifact release. So you see here, these are downloading from our artifactory. See here the IP address, it is 43204.11144. See, same IP address 115.144, same IP address. And see the folder name, lips release, the same thing which we have given, lips release. So it is using the artifacts, sorry, the dependencies available already inside this folder. So those it is using, it is consuming. So whatever it available, it is consuming from there, and from which are not available, it is pulling it from the internet. So everything is pulling from the lips release. That means what you are understanding, that means our Jenkins able to communicate with our JFrog, that you should understand. And then scroll down completely, let's see what happened. Output, final output, still pulling some. See, it's downloaded from artifact release. Okay, it's not going to internet. That is the important thing you should understand. So because of this, lot of bandwidth will be saved and lot of time also will be saved. So as of now, snapshot does not have any files, both are empty. Now after building it, the snapshot should contain not the release folder, the snapshot folder should contain the files. And when to push the data to release, only we will do it when it is a final build. That also we'll see in a moment, but let's see first snapshot is coming or not. Meanwhile, if you have any questions, please ask. It is taking some time. So remember one more important thing. This is our POM file. In the POM file, a snapshot will be created. See here the version on the line number 14 I'm talking. I'm sorry. I'm talking about line number 14. Here version, whatever version we give with the same name, a snapshot will be created. And more importantly, the snapshot is a keyword. The POM file understands by seeing this word snapshot, it understands that okay, this is a snapshot version. It's not a release version. So if you to make it a release version, I'm not editing it now because it's in build state, so let it be. So this statement you can use something like this. So this will create a creates a snapshot inside our lib snapshot local, inside our lib snapshot local. So suppose if the version has been changed to new version, now you change it to new version 3. So anyway here it will one moment please. Inside it will stored in this folder. How it will be stored? With a name, with folder name with point dot o dot o dot o 2. Now if I change this version to 3 for example, then it will be stored as with a different snapshot with number 3. Suppose finally I want to deploy a release version, then what you can do is that you should not put this number, the snapshot should not give. So release version, whatever release version you want to give, if it's a release 1, then 1.4 something like that you can give. Then what happens if you give something like this, then the snapshot, it is a release version, it creates a release version. Okay, release version inside our snapshot, not snapshot, inside our release local. So what is the folder name will be? It will be 1.0. The folder name will be 1.0. Right? This way it will store. So if you change the version number, again new folder will be created. Oh, hope you understood what I'm trying to say. If it is a new version release for sprint 2, they modified to release 2, then it will be created as a new folder with 2.0. So these changes will be done. Let's see whether what happens with what happened with the result. We will check that. Okay, what it's saying, finish success. So endingly at the end what it's saying, Artifactory build info recorder deploying build info build success, and then finally archiving. See what it's doing, you see. So normally where our file will be there, where our var file is generated, control C, you know it's stored in our var folder, in our Jenkins folder, right? In this we have where our workspace available, the workspace folder, right. Enter ls. Here we have JFrog job, cd JFrog ls. See here we have target folder, cd target ls. So this var file, this is a var file, this has to be, this will be pushed to our JFactory, our JFrog refactory now, artifactory. So this file will be moved now. But if you running the same application multiple times, you know, right, this will be overwritten here, it will be overwritten, and chance is now avoided. Why? Because now this version has been moved already to our JFrog repository. Let us see that. So it is saying it has moved. Where it has moved? Let's check here. Come over here. Now it is empty. Just I am clicking on build option here. You see our build. What is the build we just now built? That is our JFrog build one. This is job one. JFrog job one is a build that will be shown here. When you click on builds here, see JFrog job one. This has been uploaded now. At what time? How many times it has built? What is the build ID? So it is only one time it has built. As of now, it has built only one time. Duplicate this window. Go to dashboard. So what is the version number? 1. So this version number also mentioned over here. If you build 10 times, now here it will show 10 times, 10 number. Anyway, go to artifacts now. Now local, snapshot local. I am expecting the var file over here. You see, previously it was not there. This folder in folder is not there. It is there now. Project 9 and project Java var folder. In that we have see the snapshot. This is snapshot folder is created. Yes or no? That is what we discussed here. So a folder with this name will be created. Point o. In this, go inside. Here you will see the our var file, dot var file with the timestamp, and at the ending 1. So if I build it again, one more var file will come over here. You see, now I want to build it again. JFrog build now again. I'm doing the second build now. Second will be very fast, and moreover, it will not be pulling it from the central repository. Console output. You see, it's not it has not pulled any dependencies because it has found already existing, so it has not pulled anything. If anything required, it will get it from the JFrog. It won't go to the central repository. Now it has been archived. Now let's see what happened, how it stores. Now let me again go to builds. Now build number is 2 now this time. Go to artifacts, and you see release will be empty. Release is empty, still empty. So go to this folder. Here you'll see two var files with different timestamps. You see, this is another var file. This is another var file. But here in your folder, here it has been overwritten. This should have been overwritten here. When I say ls, last time where it is removed. It is removed from there. It has moved it from there to here. So it's now version var num is another var. So like this, the developer can do multiple builds here. So every time whenever you do, a new var will come over here. Now next question is, I want to change the version. Suppose every time you want to change the version is a point 0.02 0.0.2. So instead of I am pushing the code using the git functions, I want to do it directly due to uh, time. I am doing it directly. So how to do it directly? So first of all, why it is so big? Reset. So what I did, go to your form file. Now I want to change the version, snapshot version. For that, click on this icon, edit this file option. This will allow you to edit it. Go to line number 14. Here version number 0.0.2, I will make it to 0.0.3. Then what I will do, commit changes. Here you can add anything. Snapshot version change to 0.0.3. Then commit changes. Now this time I will build it again. Build now done. I want to see it. This build now is happening, but this time the build version should be 3. That means here I should see a new folder, not this the folder. I should see a new folder with 0.0.3 hyphen snapshot. That is what I am expecting. After that, a final check we will do how to deploy a release version, final version. Then we end the session. Just give me another 3 to 4 minutes. Just I'm waiting for it to build. From Monday onwards, we'll start Ansible. So you please weekend take good time to practice. So it has been built now. It has built now, and see the snapshot number is sorry 0.0.3. Go to our JFrog, and build number is 3. Go to artifacts. So don't confuse. If you have two buttons here, one is settings and another is, if you go here, you won't see artifacts here. Click on the first one, here artifacts. So here go to local, and here you should see a new folder, right? We are seeing a new folder with version number, snapshot version number, and expand it. You will have your own var version over here. Hope you are understanding. Next thing is remained is, now the final version they want to move into release local. The final one they want to move it. The final one, which has to be deployed into the production. This one, release one. So how can they do it? Very simple. So as of now, this does not have any files. Then what we have to do? Very simple. Go to edit option, and you have to remove the snapshot. This alone is enough. Then it will be stored in the release folder with number 0.0.3. But if you want to give other version number, then no problem, you can give 1.0, like that you can give. And now scroll up and commit changes, updated release version to 1.0, commit changes. Now let me build it again. Build now. Now a fourth build is happening, but this time you should observe the previous version when we built. If you see the console output, it shows that deploying artifact to libs snapshot local. So before it was did like that. Now this time it should say that libs not snapshot, but it should say libs release local. So it is done. Now let me see where it has deployed, in which folder. See, this time deploying artifact to where libs release local, right? Previously it was snapshot local. Now let us go to JFrog, and this was empty. Now click on builds. Now build number 4, go to artifacts. Let's build local. Now you see a new folder is created, project 9, and this 1.0 is a latest version. It's a build version, it's a build candidate. This can be deployed, this can be released into production. This is a release candidate with extension where. Please let me know if you have any questions. If you're not able to ask any question, then you practice these things, and please write down your questions. We can discuss it in our coming sessions. No problem, no need to ask. If you don't able to ask now, no issues. So I will give you a few seconds. Please let me know, because already I've taken much time. If any questions, just let me know so that I can close the session. And by the way, I'm using medium, so whenever you practice, better you shut it down. Always you shut it down, don't forget. Okay, okay, I have shut it down. So that's all for today. No questions, then we will connect tomorrow. I'm sorry, tomorrow means Monday morning at 9:30, same time. Thank you for your time. Please take care. Bye.